Hello and welcome. Today we're actually building a very cool platform, and it's one of those like award site, right? And I'm just going to demo it for you guys to see. So now we basically have this little big title, and then we have this marquee kind of slider, right? And then if you see when I actually over the name, we basically have some pointer. We're actually using the Aceternity library to handle this. And then we have a different section which has to do with a laptop and so when I scroll down, it's going to pull out. So this is actually a separate component we have available within the Aceternity UI, which is very cool. And also we're actually running a couple of other animations using using Figma motion. So you can see now we have the title, and then yeah, so we have the different features here coming in as expected. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to refresh this and scroll down. You can see the way they basically animated in. So we're actually using Variant to to explain this, right? And then yeah, so I'm just going to show you exactly how all of this basically paste together later in the lesson, right? So I'm going to scroll down a bit. You can see we have the section, nominee section, right? So then we have this card section. If you did notice something about the cards, you can see that they staggered in. Each of the corner basically just starts, staggered in, and which is very cool to be honest. And this is something that we will be building. And also with the title, it's animated. And let's go down. So then we have the market section. So we have the creators section. So within the creators section, this is very cool. We have some sort of, custom carousel here. So I'm just going to move it around. So yeah, this is actually a custom carousel we actually using, I think we're using Shadcn here to basically build this component and how to make it as custom as possible, which is very cool. And the same thing, you can just move it around. This has been moving around with my cursor, and you can see it's actually working as expected, right? So then we have a different section that shows still part of the creators section, right? Just give some stats about the courses and so on. And also we have this other section that just shows like share your work and be a member. And finally we have the footer, right? So this is actually everything that we'll be building. And yeah, so one thing I would do is to basically show you guys how this will be on the mobile screen. So I'm going to take this here, minimize this, take this off, and minimize this, right? So take this at the middle. So you can see on the mobile, we're going to have something like this, right? So we still have our component from Aceternity UI, right? And then we basically have all of our components still coming in as expected. You can see they are all mobile responsive, which is a huge deal. And then these are our cards, different cards, looking good on mobile. Okay, this is the market section. So with the different cards as well. Exactly. So we have our carousel, which still works on mobile. They can just swipe it to left or right, which is still very functional. And then scroll down. The same thing with the second one. The same thing with the third. So you can actually add as numerous images here as possible. I'm just using one image for the three, one set of images for the three. So you can use like custom or stuff like that. So then we basically still have this part. We have this part. We have this part. And then we have our card for the share your work and be a member part. And finally, this is exactly how the footer looks like, right? So this is the footer section, right? Yeah. So yeah, this is actually what we'll be building. And then yeah, let's get right. This is the boilerplate, as you can see, and the goal is for us to basically start it up and just continue using that flow. Right. Yeah. So this is actually the everything we have. I think I must have, demoed this way before now, but I'm just going to go through it one more time. Okay. So some are very like, there are lots of like small fonts within it, but I think that is understandable. Right. So it's one of the award site, and you know, they do a lot of things, right? So now what we want to do is to basically set up the system and being able to start the project. So we'll go in here and make sure you're on the starter branch. We just want to copy this clonable link, right? So yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to open my terminal, and the command is always the same. So git clone, I'll just paste it right there, right? So this was going to do is going to clone this particular repo and allow us to have it locally, I think. Right. Yes, so I'm just going to do cd into awards ls. So now we can actually see we have all the required files. So one thing we do here is to, in your own case, I think you want to obviously just check out, right? By using the git checkout command, check out so the starter branch. So this is something you can do, but in my own case, I think I will just stick with the main branch and work on that. So now the next step is for us to basically install our dependencies. So we can do this all the time by using the npm install command, npm I or npm install to install the developmental dependencies. So it's going to take some few seconds. I'm just going to, wait for it to complete. Okay, so yes, it's installed now, and I will just try to run the server, right? So npm run dev, right? So yeah, this is gonna try to compile. I just want to get a link and then click on it. So if I click on the link, it's going to take some few seconds to obviously run the compilations. And once that is done, we should be able to have the initial boilerplate. Right. Yeah. So while we wait for this to basically work on, so we can start, you know, um, building out what we have. So now, just to give you a little bit of, update. So what we're actually building is highly animated with Figma motion. So each of these components are actually animated, right? So no, it could actually be not all, but most actually. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to set up my color scheme and then go from there. Right. So yeah. So let's see. This is the first color. So let's see what this color is. So this is it. So this will be our own custom dark. Okay. So you can, yeah, it's done compile. You should be able to see this. And so what I do, I will just duplicate. Right. Right. Click on here and duplicate root. Oops. Right click, duplicate. Right. Yeah. So well, this should be able to duplicate that root. I'm just going to do code dot to open my VS code on that particular repository. Good, good, good. So now once we go to tailwind config.ts, I want to enlarge this a bit. And under the extend, you can see that we have the theme. Under the theme, we have the extend block. Under this extend block, we're going to add the colors object, right? So the way this colors object work is we can come in here and add like custom colors we'll be using within the app, right? So I need to make sure that this thing is aligned at the middle actually. Okay, I also how is actually aligned. Okay, so let's go on. So this is actually our custom dark. So I'm going to do custom dark. Don't forget it, hash. All right, so now let's see what about this one. Okay, the same with this, I think. 222, 222. Right, the same with this. What about this? Looks similar, but with less contrast, I think. Okay. All right. So now let's go in here, and this is white, by the way. So this is white with reduced opacity. Okay, so about this is still the same. It's just 222 222. All right, that's good. What about this one? Same, right? Most of the things we have here are all the same. So it's either white or black. So that's understandable. The same applies here and so on. I think we only have red. So this red. So this is our custom red. So I'm gonna come in here and put a command there and do custom. So custom red, right? Yeah. So this custom red will we're just including this in the card component and reuse it. So we have some yellow underscore, right? Just going to grab this, but this is going to be like we're not going to use like a crazy React component or progress bar or whatever. We could just use, we could use the image, right? So this is not really like dynamic or anything. All right, so we could export that later on, and I think we are good. That's as far as we go with the colors, right? So the next thing we normally do is to manage our assets, right? So we'll just export all the relevant things we'll be needing. And most time, if you check now, we are using inter font in this project. So let's see if we already have this within the app. I'm just going to go to source, app, layout or TSX. So inter, we already have the inter configured. That's good for us. So let's rename this. This actually, let's call this awards websites. All right, so we're going to say Shadcn, Tailwind, and okay, am I missing a new thing? Yeah, so we're using this particular library, but I will explain more on how it works later. So this is actually like an added addition. So we'll use Shadcn, Tailwind, and Aceternity UI. So yeah, so these are actually the core things we'll be using, including Next itself. So we already have that. Yeah, so good. We have the custom dark, we have the custom red, we have our font set to enter, right? So the other thing we need to worry about are these little things, right? Those icons, images, and so on. Right. Yes. So we have a couple of them here. We need to basically export everything. Right. So we have this one. You're gonna, select it. So if you're actually using dev mode, you should have an option to click on an image here. Well, since we don't really have that, what I suggest you do if you're using the free mode on Figma is to basically use a plugin. So the plugin I'm using here is called Export Original Images. So you can use this, right? So I'll just select it and click on the export. So this should be able to export it. And let's see, we have a couple of them. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab the images. So this section, we might call it something else, but I don't know yet. So we can call it follow brand section. So for that, we can actually name all of the images, prepend it with the FB for follow brand. And that way it's easy for us to, grab those icons and so on. So yeah, so this first one was going to be FB underscore one. Right. So I think the other one, this one, is the same. Yes, I can remove that one. It's not really important. So this one will be F3. This should be F2. So I just do FB underscore 3. Okay. So remove that one. Okay. So there we go with this one. Export. So this one will be FB underscore 2. Okay, so let's go to the fourth one. Export. Okay, that's good. There we go. Okay, so this is a little bit weird given that it's circled. Is there a way to do it without being circled? Oh, the original image is circled, so that's weird by default. It's okay. We can keep the weirdness. All right. So this will be FB underscore fall. So this one will be 5. So let's name this to FB underscore 5. So this will be 6. Export. This will be FB underscore 6. Okay, select that one, export. FB underscore 7. FB underscore 7. Right. And this one lastly. Okay, this should be FB8. Alright, yeah, so now we have all the avatars. So now we can actually, get this one. There's an image, so let's extract this one out. So you can see, you can do export, preview. You can see we have the full image, which is a good thing. You can just export that. So I'll just say FB large. Okay, good. So we have one little icon here. We could export this or we could just create our own. Yeah, so it depends. Yeah, so we could just export it and absolutely position it, or we could just export it and use it with and use it as this. So we're going to call this yellow rectangle. All right, so yellow rectangle, and scroll down a bit. We have some other images. So now this is under the nominees section, right? So what I would do originally is to try to grab each image and add it within the cards. So I'm just going to grab this one. So click on export. This seems like a full image, which is a good thing. So export that. So we're going to prefix this with nominee, right? So we can do nm. So nm underscore 1, export. So this one will be nm underscore 2. So export this. This one will be name underscore 3. Okay, so I think we basically have all of those. But what we do not have is the little avatars, right? So we could do NME1 and so on. That means nominee avatar 1 and so on. So let's do that. So in a realistic a more of a production ready project, these are dynamic stuff that normally comes from the server. So you don't need to worry about like naming or extracting images like this. They just originally come from the server. So all right, so let's export this. Export. Okay, this looks a little bit. Let me see if I can get a cleaner version. Use this package. Export. This thing again. All right, so let's just export it from here. So this is nominee avatar 1. Let's go. Okay, this is like the let's see underline with full width. Okay, so let's grab it. Export underline. So I think we can use the same image. We can use it here as well. But we'll see. We'll just see how it works out. So this one, export. Yeah, we need to get a full image, by the way. Okay, so let's zoom in and grab our plugin. export. Good. Let's see if we have the full image. Good. This is what I wanted. So we have all the square version of it. Right. So let's do this one. We have to rename it. So name avatar 2, name avatar 2. Oh, oops. That's supposed to be like an underscore, not a dash. Okay, so let's click on this one and export. Let's see if that's all squared up. Boom, it's all squared. So this is exactly what we want. So we might want to just delete this one and rename this to name avatar 1. It's supposed to be name, not ngn. That'll be confusing. Okay, so let's go over to the third one. That's this one here. So let's select it, then export. Then this is name a underscore 3. All right. Yeah. So now we basically have all the required avatars, which is a good thing. And the way it works is we just need to move on to to the other areas that we've not touched on yet. Right. So we basically have some icons here, but we can get those from Lucid React. Not a big problem. Right. So we'll scroll down. So we have a different section, which is this one. So let's grab the images. Okay. Export. So let's see what this section is called. Learn from. So we could just do lf. Export that. Okay. Let's rename that. So learn from 1. Oh, I think the only problem I might have with this is the fact that the image that has been exported has the plain icon attached to it, which is not a good thing. So we should use this library for that. That should give us the original image. Good. Okay, this is it. So we delete this. This will be our lf underscore 1. Okay, so let's go for this one. Export. This will be our lf underscore 2. Okay, export. Okay, this will be lf underscore 3. Right. Lastly, we have this one with a sort of badge. So, all right. So this will be lf underscore 4. So now, two other things I would like to export is this icon, the play icon. So export. Okay, so we have the play icon, and at the same time, we should have this badge, right? So export, and let's export that one out. So we're just going to call this badge. So we just call this lf play icon. Okay, so what else? Okay, so these are just typographies, and yeah, those are colorings. So let's go over to this one. I think it's very similar to what we had before, but the only core difference is that there's no play icon at the vertical horizontal middle, and at the same time, yeah, so there are no other stops too. So let's extract this. This will be marketplace. So we can do m whatever. So let's export this. This will be m_1. Export that. So this will be m_2. m_3. So m_4. Right here. So I think the rest can just can leave as is. Okay, so we have this star icon. So let's export this. Export. And this to star. All right. So I think the other areas that are extremely relevant at these listed images we have within here. So one of the good thing that I think we can do is that we can make it slide and play automatically. Right? We can just have like a bunch of them and allow them play on different interval. Right. So let's do that. Right. So first, I think the first thing is we'll grab the image, then we'll go over to the avatars. So click on this, export. Yeah, so this section is the creator section. So you can just see. Okay, so we have C_1. Go over to the second one and export. This will be C2, right? So this will be C_2. And this one, export. This should be C3. Right. So then we can go over the avatar. So by the way, I think we'll just be leveraging, the Shadcn avatar here, which is, very responsive and way better than having to build it out manually. So let's export this one. So we're gonna call this CA_1, C avatar_1. Export that one. Hold on a moment. Oops. It should be in lowercase. CA_2 and this one should be CA_3, right? So I'm just going to do that. CA_3. Okay, yeah. So I think this with these three stuffs, we should be good with the avatars. There's lots of avatars here, and it's driving me crazy. Okay, so we don't really have like the last part. I could just duplicate it so it's not empty. Okay, that should be good. Okay, so this special offer, Cubeto, Isadora Digital Agency, Outside Digital. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to check up with what we've already exported. If it's the same, I might just have to leave it, to be honest. Oops, it's not. That's a pain. All right, so let's export it. It's fine. So select it, export. So this one, what section is this? Oh, this is actually still under the creators section. So we just do creator list. Yeah, that should be fine. So we'll do creator list one. Okay. Let's do a second one. Export. This will be creator list two. Okay. Export. Okay. This will be creator list three. MCL. Let's go there. And export. Okay, so this will be CF4. Okay, so yeah, we have C1, we have C2, we have C3, and then we have, C4. So I think with those, we should be good to go. We still have one last session to worry about. So what we're going to do here technically is to export the images with um, um, the background image. Right, I'm just going to select on this and export. I pray it comes out well. Oh, I love this package. Right, so it really makes sense. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, I don't know what to call it because this is actually close to the footer. Okay, share your work and say XW. So let's go there and do SW underscore one. Right, right, good, good, good. So select this, export. So we have XW underscore two. And boom, we are there. So we can as well just export this logo if we want. Export SVG. This should be in SVG for now. Export. Yeah, so I'll just call this. It's good for logos to be in SVG, so it will not be pixelated for the most part. Yeah, so and then we have little calendar icon, so I can just click that and export calendar. So I can just call this calendar. Oh, that's fine. All right. So I think we've really come to the end of the um, project setup and basically exporting our images and stuffs, right? And that's actually like the main part. So the next stage of this will be us basically building out the each individual sessions, right? And when we are done with building all the sections, we want to switch into the last phase. And the last phase basically covers the animation part of things, right? Yeah, all right. So I'll just I'll meet. Okay, and welcome back. So we already have our setup. So what we want to do is to go to our project, go to the public folder, create a new folder called images, and those images were exported in the previous lesson. I'm just going to close this out, right, and click on this, click on downloads, I think. So date modified today, right? Yeah, so we should be able to have all of this. These are all the images we've exported so far. I think except some, I'm gonna be needing this. Okay, so I'm just going to do Control A right here and drag it into the images folder. Okay, so with this we have all the images within our project. So I'm just going to delete it from the downloads folder. Good, good, good. So now we are almost there. So I'm just going to close this out. So go to page.csx. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove everything in here, right? I'm going to take them all off and do main, right? So now we have to break down everything we have into different sections. right? So why we're doing this is to give us enough, enough privilege to be able to build all of these on per component level. And the way it works is I'm just going to come here and do other components. I'm just going to create a folder and call this sections. I'm just going to create a new one, call it cards. So on the section, we can come here and create a couple of, a couple of relevant sections that we might be needing, right? So somehow I feel like this logo is not well aligned. Don't know why that is, but maybe I can eyeball it. Looks so weird to me. Yeah, so yeah, I just hope it's really aligned. Okay, so there we go. So we're going to have the header. That's just a text, by the way, so it's fine. So I'm just going to call this one the header section. RFCE. So this is the header section. So we go on with the images and stuff. So I think I might actually have to leave out this section for now. But what I will do, I'll just call it the hero section. So we have the hero section. So I'm just going to come down and follow brand. So let's go there. Okay, new file. This will be follow brand section. What is going on? Okay, let's close out what we don't have, what we don't need. So there's the follow brand section. Good. Then we have the nominees section. Yes, we have the nominee section. So the nominee section, basically just have like the title and the, bunch of images and so on. And after that, we have the length from section. So let's create that. So that's the length from, and after that, we have a marketplace section. Let's create that. Okay, so then we have the creators section. Right, and last but not the least, we have the share work section. And finally, we have the footer. Okay, so I think that that's actually the skeletal presentation of the entire thing. So now, what is left for us now is to put them all in a single page. I'm going to go to page.csx. I'm going to go to the header. So what do we call it? All right, so we call it the header section. So then we have the hero section, right? And then follow brand. Okay, so we have the follow brand section, and then we have a nominee. And learn from. The marketplace and the creators. So the creators and share work, then footer. Okay, yeah, so this is actually like the schematics of it, right? So this is how it is. We have the header, we have the hero, follow brand, nominee, um, the length from, we have the marketplace, we have the creators, we have the share work, and then we have the footer. So with this, we can actually go into building out each individual sections as it goes. From the header section, so I'm just going to pin this, and obviously, uh, okay. So let's do it. So now we basically have this text, right? I'm just going to grab it and put it here. Nothing much. Just going to do p out, and right below it there's actually like a marquee kind of thing. I think we should look for a component that does that in React. So I'm just going to do add marquee slider, something like that. So let's see if that works. Okay, we need a demo of some sort. Let's see if this one is okay. Let's check the home page out. It's not opening. That's not a good sign. Oh, there we go. It's moving. Okay, so I don't really know you know how good this is in terms of performance and optimization, and how good in metrics it is compared to the traditional HTML marquee. But we'll see. We'll see. So so what I will do is to just install it, and it's not maintained anymore. By the way, that's a red flag. All right. So I'm not sure about this one. I have a good feeling about it. My key. Passing the keys, the number of times you want. Okay, so times. It's using low dash times. That's not good. I don't really care about that. I could use something else. Okay, so let's try it out. If it's not good, we can take it off again. So I'm just going to install the package by using the npm install React marquee slider. So I will try to install it. We'll come back there in a moment. Okay, so what we're gonna do is all of this is like a text, right? So we can create a data form for this, and the way that would be is just going to be moving from one data point to another and over again. And I think that is what is being represented here. So this box, whatever we have in this box, we come up, multiple times, infinitely. So what I will do now is to go back and okay, open it up, come here. Yeah, so we just have something that looks like this, I think. Site of the day, site of the day. So this is it, I think. It's just a text. Not sure about the proper structure. But we can do this. Let me copy that. So yeah, we can just do random stuff. We can do James Terrio. You can do this one can be Paul Roderick. This one can be Smith Wilson. And this can be Jake Paul. Okay, so this can be Tyson. Right, so this one can be Ryan Garcia. And this can be Khabib. I can pronounce Khabib's surname. I'll just do Khabib N. And whoever it is, Justin Poirier. Okay, so don't mind me. I think I'm a UFC and boxing freak. So yeah, this is actually the data that we'll be having, right, with all these custom informations. So what I want to do is to try to align them properly into the React marquee slider, right? So let's see. Just going to grab the first one and put it here. And there we go with a component. Copy it. And paste it in here. So key. So what is key? So marquee requires some sort of key, which to me is very weird, but let's do 1, 2, 3. So we don't really care about times or whatever. What we want to do is to display a basic loop. So let's do data map. So come here with the info index, and the only thing we want to just return is the paragraph or span, right? So let's do info there, and for the key we do index, right? All right, so let's see how this works first. Okay, it only work with the client component. That's good. That's okay. So I'm just going to come here and put it there. All right. So we have a world, but it's not really working. That's weird. So my key, passing the key, passing the velocity. Okay, so now this is a little bit weird, but let's see. Let's check documentation again. Oh, it doesn't require a key. Good. Okay, it doesn't require a key. So let's do scatter randomly. Alright, so we already have the scatter randomly part. That's not good, to be honest. Maybe I should try to reload this and see. Oh, was I able to install this? Okay, so let's just restart the server and see what we have. The package service is broken. It's broken, very broken. That's not good. So I'm just going to remove it. Good, good. So my key. Oh, this is even better. More up to date and good weekly downloads. Oh, got it, got it, got it. Okay, it's going to install it again. Oh, you can see the example here. Exactly what I need. Okay, so let's try to install again. Good, good, good. Going to import it. Okay, start 7. Good, good, good. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Exactly. Yeah, so that's good. And one of those things, let me see if it has some cool properties. We have autoplay, we have pause on over. Yes, that's a very good property. Speed, loop, gradient color width, on circle complete, on mouse, children, gradient color. Okay, so let's do gradient. Okay, so yeah, that kind of gradient is so cool. So you can see we have like minor gradient from the left and from the right part, which is so good. Right, so let's say the color of the page. This is the color, not the color of the page, please. I think this is the color of the page. This makish color. I doubt. It looks white. Okay, so let's put white alongside it and see. This is white, but this is not white. Okay, I see. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. That is it. So let's copy that and use it in all our pages. We're going to go to main. So that should be our page. Good, good, good. Okay. All right. So this is our text, our main text. Bold 164. All right. So here, 164 pixel, and font is bold. Good. And then we have our color, custom dark. Very good. And the size. We have to position this at the middle. We can do that by doing text center. And just to mention something really interesting, right? Text center only works for, for tags that are not, block scoped, right? Like the p tag, span tag, and so on. You can use text center in, in blocks scope elements. Like, let's do an example here. You can do hello here, and you come here and do text center. So let's say, refresh this, remove this one. Oops, what's going on? Okay. Yeah, alright, so let's try this out. Oh, that's not the case actually. So I might just have to edit this out of it. So edit 15, 30 to 16. Right, good, good, good. So I'm just gonna take these off. We have the awards. We have to make this a little bit smaller, on mobile. We can just do 3XL. So if it's on mobile, it will smaller. Good, good, good. Why is it? That's weird. Really weird. So, oh, because StereoXL basically uses line height as well. But that should not be a problem. Right. That's very weird. But if I do it like this, it works. Font size. Okay. That is applied to only medium devices. Good. And text. 3XL. Oh, I see. Well, I think this could be. Let's do 3rem here. Good. It could be because of the font. When you do 2XL or 3XL, there's a bad kind of footprint. Is that it adds the line height to it, right? So the line height was really conflicting with what was expected. So yeah, that was the case. Just going to undo it with 3rem. Good, good, good. Okay, so this is what we have. we've actually gone ahead to basically add some, some gradient to the left and right part. And well, this is actually optional. We can also just leave it. So if we don't want that kind of gradient, we can take it out. So pause this on over. Good, good, good. So this seems to be too big, but let's do 154, be 134. Let's do 4 rem, 6 rem. Yeah, something like that looks good. 6, 7. Yeah, 6.2 seems fine. Okay. Okay, so we just added a couple of, padding top to it so that we can have it shift down a bit, right? And so the other thing I think is relevant here is the spacing between the marquee and the next component, which is 66. So we can do that. Good, good, good. Good, looking good. Looking good. Okay, so now we want to move into this other section. And the way the other section works is very interesting. And why this is because we just want to animate it using Aceternity UI, and we want to use this component. If you notice, this component is the same as what we have here. This is actually on purpose because I have to basically show you guys how this works. This is a very cool component library, by the way. It's very, similar to Shadcn, right? But animated. So I refer to it as animated Shadcn kind of thing, right? So yeah, so what we have here is something like this, which I think is very cool. So what we want to do is to try to do the installation. So this is what we need to install. So I'm just going to copy that. Go to, I'm just going to make a duplicate root. Right, so paste that in there. So it's going to download frame motion, Tailwind mange, and the required icons will be needed. I don't know if we're using any icons there, by the way, but oh, the PC basically has some icons, so that's understandable. So yeah, so we basically have to install that, and in utils we should have cn.ts. So let's do that. Come here, source. So we can do utils under here, right? Utils.ts. Yeah, we already have it, so it's not really going to be a problem. So what else do we need? In our Tailwind config, we have to do all these configurations. Right, so we're adding this one to the plugins. Go here, Tailwind config. So plugins, we add this to the array of whatever that we have there. So added variable colors. Okay, added available added variables for colors. So this is it here. We already have it. So I'm just going to come here and put it right below here. So we need to use flatten color palette and all of this. So might not be needing the theme colors, as the case may be, but this is fine. So we're able to, bring the plugins properly, right? So we're able to align them. And the next part is to add this one, which I just added already, and put this within the plugins. That we should be good to go. And now we need the source code. So this is the source code for that section. So I'm just going to grab it and check that everything is installed, which it is. I'm going to go back here. Make sure that my server is still running. If it is not, I'm just going to restart it. Go to utilities, clear that out, and we go to hero section and paste everything there. So what I would do, by the way, is that this MacBook scroll is definitely the hero section. Just gonna close this out, close this out. Okay, so I think this is the source code. We don't really need the source code. What we do need is the code here. Good, good, good. Yeah, this is what I needed. Okay. Paste that in there. All right, so we're looking for the MacBook Scroll source code, right? So, but not to worry. I just need to worry about how that should be in a moment. Okay, so we install of this. Oh, that's strange. I thought we meant to install this as a copy the source code. Nope. Oh, I think what you guys could do better as Aceternity UI is that when we do the installation, we should be able to install this without having to copy this all the time. That is crazy. Right. So let's have it that way. I think it's better. Just the way we have it on Shadcn. So yeah, we can go to components, UI, then create that file. This one. So let's go. Go to your components, create a new folder, UI. Okay. Oh, we already have it. Good. New file. So copy this and paste it inside. Okay, go to page, hero section. Okay, so let's go to sections, hero section. There we go. Oh, that's export default. So yeah, utils. So I think it's like libraries like utils. So let's see. Definitely, yeah. So use memo was not used anywhere here. Right, so take that off as an unused import. Okay, so let's go here. First, just it's compiling. Wait for it to compile. Okay, good. All right, so yeah, you can actually see we have our image here, which is good, but then we need this image. So let's look for it and search for us a Tennessee logo as Yeah, Aceternity. I think that's it. Okay. And we have the auth. Oh, the source is missing. Right. So the source should be coming from somewhere. So this is the lead source. So the source should be coming from the MacBook scroll. And go to error section. Error section. Oh yeah, there we go. This is it. Right. So yeah, we basically have to change this to any image of choice that we want. Right. So I think we could have just used what they are using. Let's go to preview. This lets you image. So we could save the image or just copy the image address. Let's open this out. Yeah. Yeah, we could use this. And paste that in there. Let's refresh this. We need to add this to our whatever. That's why I prefer to just have it locally. Let's save it locally. All right, so here we're going to put this within the desktop, uh, within the YouTube project, in awards, public images. Good, we can just put that there. Right, so here we can do something like do. Okay, so we have this now. The title, we don't need a title. Let's take that off. So there are lots of margins here. Totally unnecessary. Okay, oh, it's having a minimum height. That's weird. Why do we need a minimum height for that kind of thing? So I have to modify the hell out of this. And let's see. Okay. Let's refresh this. 0 view height. So now I'm not sure if that's actually the case. Oh, the padding top and the padding bottom is too much. Yeah, so where do we have those? Okay, I think that's actually perspective 800 pixel. Could that be the case? MDPY 80. Oh, I see. Is the MDPY? That's the that's the 5. Yeah, so we could do that. Yeah, so let's first that. Check it on mobile. So let's forget about all padding. So on mobile, it's even acting crazily. So on mobile, on mobile, it's trying to like display on one single page, which to me is very weird. That's the last thing we need. Oh, if we don't have I see why the padding is important. If you do not have the padding, you'll not be able to have a space in there. Okay. All right, Captain. Let's do this one. Let's do 20. Okay, I think with this, it now makes much sense. We still need a way to push it, by the way, right? We still need a way to push it without adding too many paddings here. So I'll take it off. Okay, so let's do this one as hidden. Oh, that's the base. Good, good, good. What's the lead? Okay. Is the opening lead? Oh, I see. Okay. So we have responsive issues with this. We need to fix that. Okay, so let's handle it on mobile first. We'll come back. Okay, I'm just gonna check around. Could it be because of this? Definitely. Okay. Okay, so if we remove that, it might not have enough room to be able to, centralize. Yeah, this will not have enough room to be able to, come in flat. Okay, so minimum height. All right, so let's do this. Let's refresh again. Okay, I know we can have something like this on mobile. Maybe perspective can be lower. Let's say. Sure, that works. Okay, so maybe transform scale 100, small scale 50. Okay, scale 50. That's understandable. All right. So what I've done here is to reduce the mean height. So for medium, we want to we want to basically stick to the 200 view height. But on mobile, I'm thinking something around 100ish, like 120 view height, because that way, because I think if I put it to to 100 right here, I don't get to have it's not flat, right? So it's just stuck. So that's the last thing we want. So they want to be able to control that. So let's do 120 VH. That should be able to, you scroll down a bit. You have all of those. Right. Yeah. So that's very good. And I could add more to it. Right. Good. Good. Right. Very good. That's responsive as can be. Just gonna close this out. Okay. Um, so on desktop though, I don't know why we'll be needing this. Maybe 100 view art. Okay. $150. Let's go again. Okay, so 150 actually does make sense. We're able to see the actual image in real time. Right. So we're able to get it. Good, good. So now let's get this background. Right. And I think this is the background custom dark. So I'm just going to go back to the arrow section. And in here, I'm going to change the background we're using. Ctrl B to pull up my panel. Okay, so we have this for the entire section. Yeah, so what I will do here is to bring everything in the div and so put everything right there with full bg custom dark. Okay, and let's make it straight. All right, that's not good. Okay, can put this one here. Right, good. Good to be honest. So I think the background is different. So what I would do, I just create a box here. Right, use the fill, click it in, and that is it. So I'm just going to grab that and paste it there, right? So yeah, we can let go of this div. It's not doing much. Okay, yeah, something like that, yeah. Okay. Nice, nice. Okay, so the badge is not really a thing. We can take that off if we want. Right, and yeah, so let's take the badge off. Not really a fan of that badge. Looks weird as hell. So badge is even optional, so we can take it off altogether. I think the same thing with title. Oh, I see. Now we have to leave the title there. So on the right are words, right? So let's grab that and include it. So what we're going to do here is we need a way to be, we don't need a badge, so I'll just take that off altogether. And yeah, so the award is actually, I'm going to create a div. And this div is going to basically have this text, right? So the first text is this one. I'm just going to select it and paste it there. And the second text is, so what I think is even nice is for us to separate it. So we can do, we can have them in separate divs, right? And they're both like absolutely positioned. So here needs to be relative, and now we can do absolute, same thing here. So now what I think is even relevant here is, let's get the size. So 64 pixel. So 64 pixel, and at the same time we have to make the font bold. And the text here is actually white. We reduce opacity, of course. Your reduce opacity there is like, now that is very weird. So it's white and then 10. So this one is white and then 80. Alright, so let's see. Okay, so one other thing we'll do is to add the positioning. So one is going to be top. So top 0, right 8. Okay, left and right. Spell that correctly. This should put, we should have it there. And the top, distance between here and the top is a little bit tricky. So let's do top 16. Top 16, yeah, something like that. And right 16, something like that, or something. Okay, well, I think we can do 32. Okay, so it's overlapping, which is a good thing. And one thing is, this is not really far away from the right. So right can just be 4. And the top is, it's not too far away from the top, maybe 2 or 3. Just the distance between here and here, which is like 22 pixel. And I'm just going to go here and do top 22 pixel. Good. So we have to rotate. Do this to 90. Okay, good. Do this right top. Let's do top 4. Okay, so right can just be 0. Make sure that there are no paddings on the side. Right, so we're moving into the follow brand section. So let's see what we have here. So we have the follow brand. So what I'm going to do, we're just going to close out every other one that is not relevant. And there we go. So I think this is a section. We have a couple of cards that we might likely create. And yeah, so let's just build it. So let's rename this section. And now we have the div. And the way it works normally is the paragraphs, right? And we want to be able to have all of this well spelled out. So this is the first paragraph we have with this tiny name. So we're going to zoom in and paste that in there. And then we have this title, which is very obvious. Paste it in there. So there's an apostrophe. So for us not to have building issues, we want to just do apostrophe. Yeah. So and then I think we have one to the end here. So so we can do this. Okay, we have a div right here and 2 paragraphs. So I'm just going to take this. I'm going to put this in. And the second one, which is this one, okay, so basically have the latest and then the awards. So let's change this. Latest is like bold. So also with awards. Right, good. And so everything here in this section is just white, I think. I think so. Well, not really white, probably just BG inherit from what we have before. Good. So let's see, the distance in between here and here is 100. Let's make sure that all distancing are the same. Not the same actually, there's no point. So original is 100, so we can do, we could do py. Yeah, we could do py, but at the same time, so let's tie this, right? So class name, okay, so we have the text. So text 14.25 pixel. Custom deck. Okay, that's 222. Okay. This will be lots more bigger. That's 51. Font bold. Okay. And then we have this. So this is actually very much the same what we have on top. So we can paste that in there. And the other thing I think will be interesting that we'll do now is the positioning. Right. So the positioning between this one and this one. So that's to say that in this div, we could just do could do flex, justify between and items and. Yeah, that should do that. Good. That means this baseline is going to be at the baseline. So also with this. So now the other thing I think is relevant here is that on mobile, you just want to do flex column and the flex row. That makes it relatively responsive. So let's check it out on small device. There we go. And items end is really relevant in medium devices. Then we can do that. Good. And the title, we can make it a little bit smaller. Maybe here we can do text to Excel. Okay, text to Excel looks fine. And PY here was actually 100 pixel. Okay, so let's see the space in between here and here. That's 17 pixel. Alright, you can do MB 17 pixel. Good, check it out mobile, good as expected. And okay, so this path 100, I would want to extend it to. All right, yeah. So I think we basically have the responsive layout, for that. And as I was saying earlier, we just need a way to be able to, add a margin or padding, as the case may be, around all the pages. So right, so I'm just going to go to app page. So I think anything from here, right? Anything from the arrow section downwards, right? So we can add those. We're just going to grab everything here and paste it within here. So we can do flex column gap. So let's do gap 8 and ND. The gap can just be 100 pixel. Right, so let's do that and see. Good. So I think that will basically have a good layout system, which yeah. So okay, so we'll just continue. All right, so I think the other section here is this part, and we basically have it's just like different sections. We have the W news, we have the creators, we have the featured. So what I think will be relevant here is that we just create some sort of cards and stuff like that, and then we can reuse it here as well. So so let's do that. So this is going to be follow brand card. So I'm just going to go in there, go to cards, and create a new file. This will be follow brand card .csx. And yeah, so this is going to take some properties, I think. Right. So from here, we can just define the interface. So what we'll be having here will be the title, will be the subtitle, and then we'll have the avatar, and also we have the tag. right? And so the tag is relatively optional. So if you don't want to pass value to it, you can just leave it as empty. So which will be empty by default, maybe. Yes. So this is actually the avatar URL, and yeah, we have a couple of like undo separators. So these separators are very, you know, they're relevant because we have one at the top, and we have at the bottom too. So basically, I would think a very smart way to handle this so that the last one wouldn't have the wouldn't have the setup. So we want to do. I think they all have top separator. So maybe we can add hide bottom separator. This is going to be a boolean. So by default, we can disable this if we want, right? So we can just put in the iprops there and put in all the relevant things that we'll be needing, like the title, the subtitle, the avatar, the tag, as well as the hide button separator. So by default, it's going to be false, right? So if you don't specify it, it's just going to be false, right? So the code now, we need to worry about the card structure. So one thing is certain, we have separator. Okay, so we don't have it installed. We need to go to Shadcn. So you can just do Shadcn separator. If I would spell. So this is it. So we can install it like this. So you can copy that. And we can come in here, just going to duplicate it. I did it before. So we're just going to paste it in here. So just going to try to add the separator component. And if it's added, we just need to import it. And all we need to do is to use it here. So we have two separators. And then we need, the divs in between. So the distance between here and here is 24. So we can do my 24 pixel, which is good. And within this div, we can actually have a couple of other things. So we'll have a div, and then we have another one. So this other one we can bring in the title, and then at the same time we can bring in the subtitle, right? And each of these basically has their own custom styling, right? So let's grab the styles. Okay, so that's text custom. And the length is actually text 14. So the subtitle on the other end is bold. And it has 18 pixel in size. And we can just do font bold right there. So the distance between this and this is very minimal. So we can do my4. And also we need to bring in the Shadcn avatar. So we're going to go in there and go to avatar component. We want to install it. So you can copy that npm command. And we're going to paste it in here. It's actually an npx command. We have to paste it in there, and yeah, so we import it like so. and bring it in like that. So the avatar will be the source. So the avatar will build a source, and this is all we will be having. So now we need to worry about the audio part, and this audio part is the tag, right? So if it has a tag, we need to be able to display that tag. So we have a div like this, we have a div like this. So we can wrap everything in one, in a singular div. And at the same time, we can come in here and create a separate div. So this div is actually dependent if it has, if it has tag or not. So we can do tag. So close it in there. So that's if it has tag, has one will be responsible in showing this div. So this div is going to contain the tag name, and at the same time we're going to style it. So it has a background of text dark, custom dark, and text white. So we have the padding 6 on top, so you can then do px4 py6. So 6, oh, we actually need like the pixel, right? So 6 pixel, 4 pixel. Okay, so the roundedness of this lets you tag is 4 pixel. So we can do rounded. So rounded will be 4 pixel. So yeah, we can do flex, maybe flex colon for small screen, flex row, gap for justify between. Yeah, so if we want to hide the bottom separator, yeah, so if this is actually false, then don't display it, right? So if this is true, maybe false. Okay, false make it true, and then okay, hold on a moment. So if hide bottom separator, okay, so this means it should show. This means it should show. This is very confusing, right? Let's use the word show. Right, show bottom separator by default should be true. This is way better. Hide like having two negatives is crazy. So we have show bottom separator. If it's true, then show it. If it's not, just forget about it. So yeah, I think that will be it for the most part. So this is still installing. So we already have the separator. Oh, so we can just ignore. All right, good. So separator, the avatar though. Let's grab it here. Okay, so yeah, so we are trying to install the avatar now, and I'm just gonna go back. Okay, so yeah, so we need to worry about this the other div, right? So the div, that means this one. So we can do class flex gap 4, right? So yeah, something like that. We'll go back to follow brand. So I think this section, we're going to obviously just define a couple of these things. So let's say we have like 3 sections, 1, 2, 3. So the first one, which is this, it has a title and whatnot. So we have this, and I'm just gonna create a new div or a section. This would be a subsection, by the way. And first, we have a title, and title is this. We're going to do font bold and text 14. The text is pretty common, so I should just add it to the config. So it's pretty just, it's common thing. Font size 14. Let me get the exact size. So this will be our font size. So we can go in here and do so text 14 originally should point us to this. That's fine. Okay, so there we go. Very good. And yeah, so we need to create this data, news data. So we want it to be of the same type as this. So I'm just going to copy it. So the title here is element of the day. So the subtitle, okay, so we have element of the day, we have long press feature. So the avatar, so we have to link it. So this should be /images/ fb1 .png, and then we have the tag. So the tag for this one is fresh. So in the tag whatever, I'm just going to go in here and do uppercase right here. Right, we'll go back in and go back in. Right, this should be able to have all our tags as uppercase. Right, so yeah, I think this is one of the data. So we'll go over to the next one. We just want to display these ones vertically. Go over to this one. So I'm just going to make a copy. So we have that. So copy that. So I think this will be F3, right? And it does not have any tag, so you can let go of that. Yeah, all right, so we'll paste this in here. And the title is during the awards July 2024. So I'm going to paste that in there. So likely this should be 5. So it'll be 5. And December 13, 2023. And then we have the subtitle. So this one will be 7. All right. Yeah. So this should be able to give us, proper clarity, right? There are 3 pixels downwards. So you just want to do MB, there 3 pixels. So we will have the news data, and we have data. We have the index. Yeah. So what we want to do is to obviously just render our cards. Follow brand card. Spread our data and map the key to the index, and then just call that. Okay, so this is the data that we have. So if index, okay, so let's check this out first. Good, good, good. We just need to make some little modification to the size of the avatar. So it's actually 72, right? Size. Let's 72. Does that work? I don't think so. Okay, so that is not working. Let's put it on the parent container. Good, good, good. All right. So the only thing is the subtitle is too far away from the title. So we just do the two. Good, good. So and also we can just do item center. Exactly, exactly. So a separator, for some reasons we can't really see them because of the color. So let's try to grab this is separator color. And one thing we do is to do class name to border. Okay, can we see anything? I can't actually see anything. This is separator. Okay, so let's do red. Okay, it's actually there. We need to be very careful because I think it has the same color as the background, leading to a conflict. Okay, so what I think, let me do this. So this is the background color. Nice. Okay, that's the actual background color. And yeah, there we go. I'm just going to go to the card again and replicate the same thing at the bottom. Right, so should be able to control it that way. All right, there we go. So let's take a look at some of those things. And yeah, so I think the border is actually 1 pixel, but looks similar. Oh, okay. It's not that it's bigger. It's just that the border on the of the bottom one is intersecting with that of the top. So I think we should be having some, you know, some spacing around it. Right. So let's do that. I'm just gonna create an outer container here. Okay, so what we want to do is to check the spacing between this one and this one. Maybe just small, like like 2 or whatever. Right. So no, that's scary. That's so scary. So what I would do is to even like remove the one for the bottom. Yeah, that way I don't need to specify gap because you have some small gap. But yeah, this will make it work. And yeah, this doesn't really have like a border at the last part, so it's completely understandable that we can have this. So yeah, the problem now is the um tag. Tag is not tagging. What's going on? All right, so let's see why our tag is not coming up as expected. So we have the tag there. We have all of this. So we just do inline actually. Okay, inline doesn't work. Or inline block. That doesn't work either. That's weird. Okay, so here what we're doing the flex. Okay, we gap the item center. Okay, maybe we can give this some sort of height. 40 pixel. And maybe 30. 35. Good. Well, 6. 37 should be perfect. Perfecto. All right, so this is it for the, for the tag. And the other thing I think we are missing, you know, now is the size, right? The size of this text is actually 10. It's it. So we can do text 1080 pixel. Okay, so we can reduce the height there. ISO 27. Yeah, something like that. And it's medium. So we can do font medium. Good. Well, right, so that tax is as expected. Let's check the mobile part. Good. So the mobile part is going to be, so let's do inline. That should keep. So maybe we can define the width as well. The width can be 100 pixel. 50. Okay. We have 42 right here. And 44. Good. So yeah, so we can just have that as the actual stuff. And it's not going to be a problem, I think. Yeah, I think we can have it like not an actual problem, right? So we can have a div the flex item center. Okay, good. All right, so let's go over to any other one that may be relevant. So distance between here and here. So let's do here, 105. All right, so yeah, I think for small screen, we just make sure that it's still consistent, but a little bit nicer. And okay, this code. So I think I'll keep everything in flex row position. Good. That's better. So in the code, I can just do a little px. And maybe here, maybe do px4. This will pad, horizontally in both. So you can see we have some spacings on the left and on the right. Good. Okay, so this is the same thing we'll be mimicking here. Right, so let's have that. So we can just copy this section and paste it here. So this will have its own title. And at the same time, it's going to have its own data. So just going to copy this. News data 2. So the only difference is we'll change the name and the title. So this one will start from 2. It's just going to be all the odd numbers. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Right. Yes. Let's see. We have here. We have agency. And in the subtitle, we have add. That should be architect. So the tag is international. So there are lots of them with tags here, right? So let's go. So this one will be studio. And the text is oh my, that's oh my studio. And then we have this one is freelance United States. And then the name we have here, I think, is Ose Otando. All right. And did I miss anything? Yeah, this is supposed to be the third one, to be honest. So I'll just put it there. So the fourth one is Studio United States with his name. You can spell that. Just gonna copy it and paste it right in here. So this data will be used in the second iteration. So just gonna scroll down. Okay, you can see all the information are coming in as expected. But now the thing is the tag. That's why I don't really like specifying a width to a tag. Because if you confine it, it becomes more problematic for longer text. So I'm going to take that off. Okay, so this is responsive, but then on mobile, okay, still maintains that, which is a good thing. Good. Oh, we took off the, flex column something, so still works as expected. Good. Okay, so we have all of this. And lastly, I think we just have a couple of other new stuffs. Right, so let's come in here. We want to worry about the featured part. So this feature part is very special, right? And why that is because I'm just going to take this off, not really relevant. So take this off as well. Take this off. All right. Close that. Come in here. So this will be the last section, right? So we have the title, and the title here is just featured. So then we have the separator. So I'm just going to grab it from here and include it right here. So this separator will be responsible for creating the proper spacing between the title and the image, I think. And then we should be able to have the image here, a text here will come in soon. So and then we should be able to have this title, right? So yeah, I think we should just style the test, no big deal. Text 14. Text 14. Text custom doc. Very good. The same thing applies here, I think. Just gonna copy it and paste it here. First off, the font there is bold, and it's going to be 18. So we have 14 and 18. So go to tailwind.config, and for the 18, I'm just going to paste that in there and call this 18. And don't forget your command right there. So this one will be text 18. All right, let's go down. Very good. Well, not very good. It's very small actually, so that's fine. So distance between here and the actual image is 39.9, which is like 40. So you're just going to do empty 40 pixel, and in here we're going to bring our image in. Images slash foreground large.png. This is going to be the brand ad. All right. Very good. So the other thing now is the separator. The distance between here and the separator is just 20. So let's do 20 pixel. Very good. Okay, so what I want to do now is to bring everything together, all the different sections, and I understand the gap between them is like between here and here, which is 57 or 58 pixel. So what we can do is to come here and say, okay, we have sections, right? So I can come in here and wrap all the sections in a div. I'm just gonna get 1, 2, 3. These 3 sections, paste it in here. And what I want to do, I'm gonna do flex gap 58 pixel. con md flexible. Okay, so you can notice that we already have them there, which makes sense. But the only thing that doesn't make sense is the way they are arranged. I think it's not spread. So for us to be able to, achieve something like that, I'm sorry, I need to look into this part. Right, the spacing is inconsistent. Okay, so oh, I see this one. So empty. Oh, this is not needed in here. So I think this is only relevant in the container. And right there. Okay, can close this out and remove this. Okay, so we have all of this. Okay, so yeah, that should give us something fairly reasonable. And how to now, manually specify the sizing, right? Okay, so yeah, so let's start. So let's basically just try. So 33 pixel, right? So let's see. That's the title. Okay, yeah, that's fine, by the way. That's not really the problem. Okay. Yeah, so they all needs to be consistent in a way. So let me figure out why that is not happening. So this one have it in margin bottom, which is weird. So this one too. So how come the space on top? Oh, it has empty of 8. Oh, I see. I see. Wherever we are putting empty 8 needs to go. Empty 8 needs to go. Very good. Very good. So that is very good. I think we basically have to spread it. Right. So let's see if there's a nice way for us to do this. And you justify between. Good, good, good. So want this one and this one to grow to the size. So I would do okay. So this section, let's grow. Okay, I'm gonna copy this and include it here as well. Okay, so you can see both of them are growing equally with the size of the container, and that makes sense. You can see now we have a very highly scalable approach. So let's check it on mobile. This is what we have. Right, so let's check it on. Okay, so I just noticed a crazy bug. This is the title. So let's fix that. We're going to add more leading to it. That's the follow. So we just need to add more leading. So this text can just be maybe 2 rem if it's small. Or 1.5 if it's small. Oh, it's not really small, so we can just do 2 rem. All right, so let's check it out. Good, good, good. Right. So yeah, I think the only problem with the 2XL, 3XL, 4XL bullshit is the fact that it doesn't just do that. It basically adds some sort of leading to it, like line height. So which is I'm gonna show you that real quick, which makes it a little bit annoying, right? So me, I was just interested in this part. Why I had this part, right? So it's a very crazy approach that Tailwind uses. Let's take that off. So you can see we have a very cool design, and that is a big plus. And yeah, so with that, we've come to the end. Oh, we have a tag here in agency. We have a tag in studio. So let's add that to the data. Boom, very good. So we have that too. And yeah, so with that, we've come to to the end of the news of this section, which is the brand section. We need to now go into the nominee section, right? Okay, so I think with this we can, we can start building up the nominees part, right? So um, the approach I'm going to take here is going to be very similar to what we've done before. First off, I'll close out most of the things we have and just create the cards, right? So I think the most important part here has to do with the cards. So in the cards section, I'm going to create, let's go to close this out first and go to sections. And then we have the nominee section. So I'll tag pin this up and update this to section and basically create the card. So this is going to be the nominee card. Right, so yeah, so this is the nominee card. And in this nominee card, we're going to define the interface. So the interface here is going to just be iProps as usual. So what is relevant for the iProps is the image or the, you could just call this image, yeah, it doesn't really matter. So then we have the company, is that the company name? Git super word, more like the company name actually. So you can say company name as string. And then we have the avatar as a string as well. And so we have the username, right? So yeah. Right. We just have pro attached to all of them, which is okay. It's fine. So yeah, let's grab all of this. The image or the banner. Yeah, let's use the word banner. So we have the banner. We have the iProps. We have the company name. We have the avatar, and at the same time we have the username. Right, and what we do is very straightforward. So we have the div. We just need to structure them on that basis, right? So we have the div here. We have the div here. So the first div is going to have the image as the banner. Out is going to be the nominee banner, nominee company banner or something. So we can close the image tag. And what else? We basically have the company name. And we'll give you space MVSP. And then we have, I think, the avatar. So company name by, let's do this as a span. So this can actually just be bold. So by And then we have another div. So this is just going to be this and this, right? So we have, yeah, so we have the username, and within it, I think we just have the underline, right? So nominee underline. I just hope I had that right. So public images, anything that has to do with the underline, nominee. Okay, we have it. Good, good, good. So we have the stylish underline. So yeah, so the image is actually positioned at slash images slash name underline png, right? So let's see, start this up. It's 21. Font bold. All right, and yeah, so I think we can be able to work with that. And what else? What else? Yeah, we have the pro. Um, so I think what we can do here is to wrap this in a container. And do the pro. So this one now we can now do flex item center. So this username do mb2, something like that. Okay, so this is the company, this is the username, and so on. So let's see the size here. Font bold. All right. Yeah, so I think we basically have to test it out. So by the div, then we need to bring in the avatar. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I think with that now we should be good. Even if not perfectly, but there are lots of other things for us to add. All right. So let's see. Each of the image I think has, they are all banners, right? They are all banner, and as a result, we're just going to do 28 pixel. Okay, so this is the avatar. Yeah, so the roundedness, so I'll just assume, that we can use, so for the image here, so just do rounded small. Right, so the avatar, go in there and pull the avatar in there. Avatar in there, good. And yeah, so let's get the nominee card out of the way. So we have this, and so we have the divs there. So we have latest. So I think this is text 14. Text custom doc. Nominees. And I'm just going to grab that, paste it in there. And also we're going to have some absolute position element. So this is going to be a relative. And in here is going to have a div. And this div is going to contain this rectangle. So let's do image source slash images slash nm rectangle, right? So yellow. Yeah, so that's actually a yellow rectangle. And yeah, so if we have all of this, we just can come here and include this other one, right? This other description. So if all of those seems okay, so we now need a way to be able to pass in all of this data, right? So let's get this one right first, then worry about the cards. Okay. So nominees is 164. Okay. So make this bold. Give your text custom dark. Very good. And yeah, so we just want to make sure that all of this are centered, this and this. Okay, so let's see if we can put the center in a div. Okay, good. So we have to make this very proportional to the text. So let's do that. Absolute right 0, bottom 0. Okay, so now that is scary because we don't really have it with the text. Right, and So maybe I'll make this a div and put it within this one. Make this relative. And now this one. Still the same thing. Nothing changed really. So let's check if line block will work. Oh, good. All right, so let's say we want to put this on top of the X. Okay, very good. And then the right can be 4. Yeah, so we can do -4. Okay, maybe -6. Very good. So it shouldn't be touching the E, by the way. So very good. So one other thing we have to worry about is when it's responsive, because it's going to lose track of, lose track of everything, right? So this will only be applicable if it has hidden. If it has like, a smaller interface. So here, these nominees, SMD, text forum where it's small. So this will be large. Okay, yeah, something like that. That's responsive and not an issue. Right, and so let's get this one centered for the most part. That's very good. Okay, good on mobile and good on desktop. All right, so yeah, so we want to start building up the data that I will need for nominees. So I'm just going to come in here and do const data. And in the nominee card, we basically need all of this. So I'm just going to copy it and paste it in here. So the banner here has to be so the banner basically has to be nm1 all the way to 3. So you can do /images m_1.png, and the company name here is RRE, and then the avatar is nma1, right? So I'm gonna copy it. Then the username is studio right. All right, so let's go and make a duplicate of this. So the only thing here is just change this to 2, and the name is Memphis Milano. And the company, the username, sorry, is Nicholas or Gary. Right, and lastly, we can just come in here and sorry about that, and copy, paste it right in here. The last one. So the last one is going to be 3, and the title is going to be kid super word, and the username is going to be basement studio. Yeah, so this is actually the structure of our data, and we can come in here and do a div. Give this a flex. So gap 8, justify between, come in here and do data.map. And then what we're going to have here is the nominee as well as the index. So then we need the nominee card. So spread through the arguments. And we pass the index to the key field. So that should be able to, give us a very good look. So let's see what we have. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Good, not bad. Right, so in between all of this, we need to make sure that this thing is in one line. So the way we make sure of that is to go into the nominee card. And what I want to do now is in here, I'm just going to do flex gap 2 or something. Flex item center. Good. Gap 2. Okay, so this pro should be on the same line as the title. And that's tricky. That's very tricky. Okay, so we need to reposition the pro. Alright, we have to reposition it. Okay, so the pro is on the same line as that. So, alright, so let's do that. Let's do gap 4. Let's close out this, by the way. Very good. And then the boxes, right? Okay, so we have the rounded ones, but this is stumper, it's not rounded. Alright, so let's see why that is. So very good. I'm curious about this guy, why it's not rounded. Let's take this out first. Right. So now the distance between what we have here in the top is about 100 pixel. All right. So if you take a look at this, and yeah, that should just work. This is very weird. So let's investigate deeper. So this border radius. Oh, maybe it was too small. Let's do 1 rem, 2 rem, 1 rem. Yeah, something like 1 rem should just work. Alright, so we just do using the arbitrary value. So we could do okay, let's go back and so that's 1 rem. And good, that should be fine, right? So let's check it out on mobile. Oops, not good on mobile. Okay, so I think we might, I would love this to be a grid form though, but let's see. So we need to make sure that all these things are stacked when it's not large. So let's see. Right, so let's do first column md flex row. Right, let's see how that and that would be. So that's LG. Very good. Yes, something like that. Looks way better. Good. Yes. Exactly. Good. So let's track some of the sizing. It's going to go there. Yeah, so I think what's needed at this stage is the icon here, right? And then the text that we have here. So I think we already have this, more like the play icon, not really. So I think we can export this as well and just use it as is. So click on export, preview. It is going to be chevron right button. All right, yes. So what is left now, from what I can see, is this little icon that I just exported, and I think I'm just going to rename this. I think I already have it, but let's check it again. Oh, chevron right button. Good. All right, very good. And then we have the text at the bottom here. So let's have both of them. So we're going to create a div specifically for each of them. We have slash images, then slash we have chevron right button, right, dot png. So we could just add an alt text right there. So this will be chevron right. All right. So and then lastly we have the text which is at the bottom, or you could as well It is a div, right? So we have p. So we have the p, and then we have the arrow right from Lucid React. Arrow right. And then we can have the view nominees. So we're going to have something very similar with what we have within the nominee card, right? So we have a text alongside a stylish underline. So we're going to just grab one of those and take it to the nominee section and just paste it right in there. But in this case, we're going to have view nominees as the actual text. So we need to take away the username, put in the view nominees, and then we have our stylish underline. So yeah, let's scroll down. So very good. So view nominees and so on. So one other thing I would do is to to basically just align everything together. And the way that will work is first to change this into a flex container. So that will be a flex. And we have to make sure that items center is well aligned. And that is what that will do. And also maybe between this and this is like 19 point. We can do it for both as the case may be. So it's more consistent. So you can just do gap. So 19 pixel. All right, very good. Right, so now this is actually taken to the middle, while the last is taken to this text, by the way, is actually 18 and font bold. So this test is 10 pixel font bold and so on. Very good. And right, so let's do that. Let's reposition it. This one will send it to the end. So we'll do class name. We have flex justify end. So grab all of this, and this one can just be justify center. All right. So yeah. So let's give some gap between this and this, which is like 80 pixel, and to the top is like 52. So 50, 80. So what we do now is to do empty 50 pixel MB 80 pixel. All right, so let's do that now. Very good. You can see that it's coming in nicely as expected. And also, if you notice now, we have some padding issues in terms of, so the padding actually applies to all the components, and we're going to assign it to to the sides, right? And the way we normally do this, I can just as well just do this already. I'm going to select one of the component we have and check the sizing. So it's 52 pixels away from the edge, right? So what we'll do, we can just go to page.cxx, and then we have all of this. They're starting from, I think, the follow brand section, right? So let's do that. You can wrap this in a div or any form of container that you want. Just gonna grab all of this, put it here, and do class, and do px4, and medium, I want to do px 52 pixel. Yeah, that should give us a very good good padding from the left and right. You can see now it's coming in much more better as expected. So for mobile devices, you can see it in a much more similar fashion, but well cleaner, right? Yeah, so I think with this we've come to the end of the nominee section, right? So the next section now is to look into the length from structures, right? So this is actually a very good section we'll be taking a look at in the next section of this course. Okay, so I think in this particular section, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to try as much as possible to explain to you the variants, right? So I'm going to refresh this page now. And when I scroll down, you can see the animation coming in here. These are actually controlled by Variant. So you can see that as well. You can see the title coming in from beneath, right? And the card itself basically coming in as expected. So I think I have hello world here. Probably I just need to take those off. Let me edit that real quick. Okay, so this is not needed. This is just for demo purposes. So yeah, let's go back um, to this setup we have. So now, if you don't know how variants work in Figma Motion, I'm just going to explain that part because I think it's a really integral part of our animation, right? So yeah, so basically we have a parent container, and anything in Figma Motion, you basically have to, anything you want to animate in Figma Motion, you have to wrap it with the motion dot, right? So motion is actually coming in from Figma Motion library, right? So if, for example, I have a parent container, a parent div like this, and then this parent div seems to have like two children, right? So this will be child one with the content hello, and this will be child two with the content word, right? So the idea is we want to be able to define a variant so that when we get to the children element, we can be able to pass those variant in as like, okay, as a listener to the parent. So now think of it this way. So I'm going to scroll right to the right. The code representation of all of this will be here, right? So now this is actually how a variant is defined. So first of all, you have to define the wrapper, as the case may be. So the wrapper, you can see from here, we have custom awards variant. This is just an object name that I declared. It's just an object declared. And within it, there's a property called wrapper, right? And then if you notice, we have some other properties here that it takes. Motion.divs gives the div much more ability to take in a couple of properties like the initial, wine view, viewport, and so on. So initial, I'm just going to explain them one bit at a time. Initial means use this particular object name or object when the animation has not started. That means at the initial state of this component, right? Use this. So hidden is actually an object. So it's an object within the wrapper class, right? And wine view, this wine view is actually a custom property from from our motion itself. So when you pass it to div, it tends to basically like animate when that div is in view, right? So there's no need to use a kind of a custom library or a separate kind of component to track the scroll view or the scroll event. You can use the wine view to basically track that, right? So visible, just like hidden, this will only render when the component is in view, right? And visible as it's seen now is actually an object within the wrapper class. So you have to define it yourself. So we'll actually get back to that in a bit. And lastly, we have the viewport. So the viewport is basically a way for you to pass in some optional parameters to the div itself. For example, we're passing in that, okay, we want this animation to run multiple times, right? That's why once is set to false. You set once to true, it's going to run only one time, and the animation will run again until you refresh the page, right? So yeah, so this actually, I hope this makes sense. So I'm just going to show you now how the hidden and the visible, object basically looks like. So this, take you guys to the right part. So yeah, so this is the wrapper class. So I'm just going to move this around. Just move this around. Okay, around here. Just can remove this. No worries. So this is the code representation, right? So as you can see, we have the wrapper as the parent container. So the wrapper basically has class what? Hidden and visible, as I said earlier. So now hidden class means this is the kind of property it's going to basically have when the component is not yet in view, as the case may be. So opacity will be 0. And when the component now is in view, which is visible, which is an object as I told you earlier, we want the opacity to be 1. And the transition should be to stagger the children in, right? So now, this is just for the wrapper, right? So this is just us defining for the wrapper. And this is, I think, this is where most people get it wrong, right? So the style and the kind of fields available to the wrapper should be equal to the fields that are available to the children. So for the children elements now, we have the first child and the second child. So the first child basically has the customer awards variant, the list. So this list is right here, right? So this is what we have in the list. I will explain this in a bit. So now take a look at it this way. The list here is a way to be able to take care of a couple of things, right? And yeah, so think of it this way. We have the hidden class. So the hidden class basically has opacity of 0 and the y of minus 100. That's to say that this child should, before view, actually have a y downwards, right? So it's like you're doing I think I need to basically demonstrate this so you guys can get it. So you have like, your viewport like this. You can just or shift whatever so we can draw it straight line. Good. So now we basically have, this is your viewport. Let's say this is the view. So yeah, this is the viewport of your browser. And your browser basically has a couple of things here. So there is the, there is the x-axis and at the same time there is the y. So let's do x, right, y. Good. So this is like your average viewport, right? So now if you do y minus 100, so this is actually 0, just the way we draw a graph in school, right? So here we have the x-axis, here is the positive part and here is the negative part. So let's do, here can be minus 50, minus 100 and so on, right? So just going to grab this here, very good. And we can do the similar thing, I think, on top, just copy and paste, right? But the only thing we'll do, we'll just change the value. That will be 50 and this will be 100, right? Okay, so now you see that on the y-axis, the positive side we have 50, 100, and so on. Why on the downside we have minus 50, minus 100, and so on, right? So why we have this is because if, for example, you set y equal to 100, we are going to have a situation whereby the animation will start way down and try to shift towards the 0 point, right? So it's going to move from here. Just going to change the color real quick. So it's going to move from minus 100, which is what you set at the hinge state, to to 0, right? So that means the initial state. So this is actually the initial position, and it's going to move from here to high. To just simulate that it's shifting down. It's shifting from the bottom to the top, basically, right? So to get to the original position, and then you should have your animation in a very smooth manner. So while that is happening, you want to control your opacity. So at the initial state is 0. You can put this to 0.5, whatever you want. And but when it's visible, it's actually mostly advisable you set it to 1. That means it's fully visible. All right. So there's other properties you can set as well. Within the either hidden or visible, is that you can specify the transition element, right? So what transition does is a way for we to be able to manage this transitioning, between the hidden, visible, and so on. So we said that okay, when it gets to visible, it's going to take like 300 milliseconds, right? With 0.3 seconds. And it's going to ease based off of this. So it's going to have some sort of, round trip easing, right? So the way you specify it this way is going to be the way. All right. Yeah. So as I was saying earlier, basically the transition controls the behavior of of the movement, right? So the movement from hidden to visible is being controlled by what is specified within the transition block, right? Within transition, we have the duration, like how long do you want, the transition to last. We have the easing, right? So this is how it contains other properties. You can check the Figma motion docs. It has a couple of other examples that you can explore and so on, right? So yeah, I think this gives like an idea of how you can, basically use all of this, right? So for variant, there's always, just to recap, for variant, there's a wrapper, and then there's there is um, a child representation of that wrapper, right? So that's what we have. So whatever fields that's available in your wrapper, in this case, hidden and visible, those are the same fields that should be available in the child variant, right? So list should basically have hidden and visible, so that when you pass it to your code like this, right? So you can do initial hidden as just a string, and wine view visible, just like that. So I think I'm able to basically like explain this step to you, and then yeah, you can actually go through the platform and see how we use some of this feature. So it's a good thing to have, and I feel this is actually a very good example to give. All right, so um let's continue with the rest of the flow we have.